Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. You are talking to Ree, where I come to talk to you about what I have either read in the blogs, watched on TV, or heard in the streets. Today it is about what I have watched on TV. We are talking about 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 4. We will get through these couples. We now have 6 couples to go over. They introduce us to a whole new couple 4 episodes in, which tells me that this couple may not be giving us much during the season, but we'll see. So anyways, I am Ree, where I talk to you about different types of reviews, what's inside the blogs, as I said, and just different topics. And so if you like what you hear, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely come back for more. So let's get through these couples. So let's get out of the way. Cara and Guillermo. There was relatively short, not much going on there. They're in the U.S. He wants a computer that's about $1,000. They only got $6,000 in savings. She's like, absolutely not. He's feeling like she's babying him. He's like, this is my money. You know, I brought over my money and sold everything. Therefore, I got some things, and it's not just of your money. Here's the thing. Even though I get what you're saying, sir, if you are looking for, like, let's say, a refurbished computer, you know what I mean? Like, there are refurbished ones. I'm sure there are wherever you are at. You know, something small, may not a MacBook, may have to get you like an HP that's maybe a few years old. Doesn't have to be anything new. And you may be able to get away with like $300 to $400 on it. That's like a happy medium of settling the matter instead of just a blatant yes or a blatant no. Because I get Kara's point where it's like, listen, I'm going to be the one that's going to have to care for you until you get your green card and you're able to work. Or is this like at the same time that I'm kind of confused, because if he's automatically able to come over, considering that he came over from Venezuela, then I wonder, do they automatically give him a green card so he is able to look for work? Not too sure. But what we do know is that he is not working and she's working. So I would understand just waiting, her suggestion of waiting until you're able to get work. Why not share the computer as she suggested? Oh, no, I want my own computer, this and that. Like, it's a happy medium. Go with a refurbished. Let's just call it a day. We move on. Okay, let's go to Kobe and Emily. Not much to talk about there. They're finally going to meet the son. I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely teared up and cried when he met Coben, who looks just like him. As I said, very handsome little boy, looks just like him. And when he met him and just started tearing up and was crying, I would be lying if I said I didn't cry as well. Guys, I am emotional when it comes to these types of things. It was a beautiful scene. Of course, you know, Coben is unfamiliar with him. It's going to take some time of warming up. He hasn't seen his mother in over a day. He wants the boobies, you know, and that's that. So we move on. Okay, let's go over to Bilal and Shaida. So she meets his family, right? She's settled in the home, and they're now preparing to meet Bilal's family. The mom is there, the sister, the brother. They seem to be very, very welcoming. So I do love that. So as she's speaking with him, he's like, yeah, you know, she's sort of, you know, freaked out when it came to the house, this and that. And it's like, why would you put on the spot about her reaction? But, you know, they laugh it off. They move forward. Point of this one was they get to the point of speaking about kids. And she still wants kids. He's like, listen, I'm ready to travel. You know, basically what he's saying is, I already have my kids. I have my kids. They're old enough, you know, where they're at the stage where basically they can be left at home alone, right? Like, you're not going to, you know, CPS and the police is not going to send you to jail if they're left alone, right? They're teenagers. And he's like, no, like, they'll soon be done where I can travel the world and, you know, just live. So he is looking for that wife where they can just travel, have a good time, and just raise his 2 kids. Well, you should have discussed that before you did a spiritual wedding, and also before you even brought her over to this country, because she's someone who has never been married and who does not have kids. She wants her own, which is understandable as well. And I just think that he's not ready to do the whole baby process all over again. Like, starting from ground zero all over, especially since he's older. But she wants kids, and he has to understand that. And that is definitely a discussion that should have been had beforehand. But she's just like, listen, if we don't get that, I'm not marrying you. And that's on that. Okay, we move on to Jabri and Miona. So they are in their crib, they're waking up together, and he is still trying to convince her that South Dakota is where it's at. He's like, listen, like, we can do music here, you can do your makeup stuff here as long as you got the internet. It's good. And she's, she looked like she's coming around to it. Like, she gave him that look where it seemed that she was just like, okay, I'm willing to give this a try, but we don't know for how long. Like, she needs to know an exit plan. Like, is there an expiration date? How long do we plan to be here? And he honestly doesn't have one because Jabri is not financially stable, which is all the more reason why he had no business bringing this girl over. I said that last time and I'll say it again, but they're willing to make things work. Okay, now if you recall, his parents wanted them to cook for them, right? Okay. They decided to go and make a meal. The meal that they make, it is with, some of the goods were slightly old, they said. And she was like, listen, like, no, we're not going to throw it out. We're going to cook it. And if they say something, then okay. But if they don't, we don't. That, I'm like, girl, that is going to look really bad on TV. Because if I'm the mother and I know for a fact that you have served me something that you knew was basically going old, that's bad. People get food poisoning for that type of mindset. These are older people. You don't know how their digestive system is even working, if it's even functioning at a strong enough level to even withstand you serving them something that's old. It was just, I didn't like that part. But here's what I also didn't like. I also didn't like that the parents were blatantly saying how the food was disgusting. It is just like, it's gross. And, you'll do better next time, this and that. I think that was totally tasteless, especially while they are eating, because the girl tried, and this is something that you forced her to do. You forced her to do that. You did not even know if she can cook or not. You said you guys would be cooking twice a week, this and that. You didn't even know if your son could cook. And you're making them cook. For me, that would have been the first question. Do you know how to cook, Miona? And let her tell me, okay, like, what do you cook? Are you used to cooking your culture food, or are you used to cooking just general, like, things for different cultures? Like, what can you cook? You should know if your son can cook or not. You raised him. You should know if he can cook or not. And then if they both say that they can't cook, then it's like, okay, so Miona, I want you following me in the kitchen while you're working on the job. The couple of times that I'm going to be in this kitchen cooking, you're going to help me. Okay? If I got to get you a recipe book, whatever. But you do not go and disrespect someone's meal while you're eating that meal. That is so disrespectful, no matter whose culture that is. And I'm so glad that Jabri let them know that, like, hey, that was distasteful. If you don't like it, just stop eating. But no need to just disrespect the girl. That was distasteful. So he also speaks on his best friend and her not getting along. And he's just like, listen, like, y'all got to figure it out, because they did some ceremony where he's saying that it automatically makes him the godfather of the children that he plans to have. What? Well, here's the thing, Jabri. Godparents and godmother roles, that takes both parents, especially if you're married, deciding that. It's not just one person. It's not just, I'm going to have my best friend that can't stand the mother of my child be the godfather to our children. Where they do that at? Doesn't care what ceremony you took, what lock of hair you guys put in the bag and burned over hot coal. Doesn't matter. I would not be okay with that either. Like, no. If she had a best friend or someone that you couldn't stand, and then she said, hey, this is going to be the godmother of our children, you have every right as well to say, girl, no. Absolutely not. That godparent role takes two people. Two people. And you will want the godparent to be someone that has respect for not one, but both parents. You will want anybody that's around your kids to have respect for both parents. Period. So I'm with her on that. We move forward. We meet the new couple, Patrick and Diez. Patrick is from Austin, Texas. He was a professional weightlifter where he would do competitions. And long story short, he was kicked out of his sport due to him taking performance enhancing drugs. Now, the first time he got caught with it, you would think that he would have learned from that. No, he does it again. And now when you get caught twice, guess what? You're banned from the sport altogether. And that is how he lost his career. That's embarrassing. That is super embarrassing because that's like on a nationwide thing. Like you can Google, Patrick Mendez and find out exactly what happened. So that's super embarrassing, right? But anyways, he was married during that time period. He was married to another weightlifter. His wife was. Realized that after he stops weightlifting, they really don't have much in common. That the only thing they really had in common was the fact that both of them was pumping iron, right? They were weightlifting. Once that's gone, it's like, oh, wait, I got to really get to know you. And who I'm getting to know, I don't think I really care for. So they get a divorce. She moves out. He keeps the big home that's in Texas, right? So his brother moves in with him. His older brother, name is John, moves in with him. And it's a bachelor pad somewhat. So John gives me someone that is, I'm not going to say irresponsible, but he's not as serious as Patrick. And so to people that are very serious, when you are a little bit more easygoing, people mistaken that as irresponsible, right? So, and I think that is the nature of Thais. I can already tell I'm not going to care for her. I'm hoping to be proven wrong, but I'm already not going to care. I do not appreciate the way that she is even referencing the brother John, period. Like when she's like, hey, that house is going to be my house soon. And he comes over to speak. Oh, it sounds like you got people over there. It sounds like you're having a party, because we find out that she keeps a tracker on him. And she wants to know his location at all times. Girl, you are in Brazil. You are not from Austin. So if you find out that he is on 6th Avenue and Broadway Street, you mean to tell me you're going to know exactly what's there? But again, Patrick entertains it. He, in fact, encourages it. Okay? Because he doesn't stop it. And what I don't like is her disrespect with John, especially behind the back. I don't like that. So John comes over, lets her know as they're, FaceTiming that, listen, we're not having a party. Now, John, you did stick around a little bit too long. Once you explained that you should have went back into the parties with your boys, but you stuck around there a little bit too long. Allow that brother to enjoy his relationship. But then she goes, hey, like basically like you could send him on, rolls her eyes at him, this and that. And I don't like Patrick because that level of disrespect that she's showing, she should never show. But she is showing that because who knows if you lack a level of respect for your brother as well, considering that he's older than you and he's the one that moved in with you. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But people handle other folks that they don't really know based on what they're hearing and based on the level of respect that you're showing them. Point blank, period. That goes for anyone. That goes for the relationship, friendship, whatever. If you're around someone and like, let's say it's a friend and their friend that you don't know is disrespecting you in any way or is handling you a certain type of way, especially in front of said friend, then 9 times out of 10, there are separate conversations that's going on behind the back. That's just what I'm guessing. That's how I feel. That's a conversation for another day. But yeah, long story short, I didn't care for her regarding that. So now we go on to Ariel and Binyam. This is the meat and the potatoes, okay? So we left off last episode where Binyam's sister throws wine in Ariel's face. As I said to you guys then, Binyam I blame for all of this because Binyam, you were the one that would tell that from your family. You did. And when your sisters were chastising Ariel while you were seated right there, you should have said something immediately. Guys, if you want to be upset with me. She had nothing to do with it. She didn't even know that I was doing that. And I didn't tell her till afterwards. Guy, like, you should have done all of that. You didn't. You sat there and you allowed it. And you allowed it because honestly, you had some sort of, tension and problem with Ariel as well. And you do because she is forcing you to move to America. Well, not forcing, but basically ultimatum in order for you to still have a relationship with your child, with her knowing that this is your second child. And there is already chaos in your relationship, right? So that's a problem. But also, Binyam, I'm kind of on the fence with you. Like, I don't have sympathy for you. One, you guys was living off of her parents in Ethiopia. You couldn't even provide for your family in Ethiopia. At least not a comfortable living that she is used to. Okay? You were like staying in a shack behind your sister's place. Right? So, now she wants to send the child back. And, you're saying that you're going to move you want her to go and meet with the sisters with Avi. And she's like, no, you can take them. But I'm going to stay back here. What I want her to put this to the side is what you're saying. And it's like, Binyam, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for you being a weasel and allowing your sisters to fight your battles, allowing your sisters to say what you really want to say, honestly. And also for you not correcting your sisters regarding you not telling them to the last minute that you were leaving. None of this will be happening if it wasn't for you. Bottom line, point blank, period. So, he meets with the sisters. The sister is like, I do not feel bad for throwing a drink in Ari's face, and I'm not going to apologize for it, and that's on that. Now they're getting ready to head down to the airport. The sisters come. Same sister, the same rude sister that refuses to apologize. The same one is like, listen, I don't want to see Ari's face right now. I just want to have this moment with my brother. Here's the thing, what you ladies don't seem to get. And I don't know whether it's because you guys are not mothers. Like, I don't know if the two children, the niece and nephew belongs to the brother, or if they belong to the older sister, the thicker one. But what you guys don't seem to get is that no woman, okay, majority of them, is not going to be overexcited to have you in their children's life when you are blatantly disrespecting their mother. The child is a baby. Avi is a baby. What is he, 1? He's 1. So the protection of that baby is not just on Binyam, but it is on Ari as well. You cannot have a relationship with that child and while avoiding Ari. Now, maybe when the child gets older and they're at an age where they can interact with you without their mother, but definitely not as a baby. You are delusional to think that you rudely saying something like that. Binyam doesn't correct you. Binyam doesn't even tell you was wrong for throwing wine in my fiance's face. Not just my fiance, but the mother of the same child that you're trying to have a relationship with. How complicated do you think that's going to be? If Ari was to say, I don't want your violent butt around my child, she would be within her rights. She hasn't said that. But if she wanted to, she would be within her rights, because most women would not be keen to, like, listen, if you're around the child when they're with the father, this and that, but as far as me going out of my way to make you have a relationship with my child and you clearly have a disdainment for me, I don't know. One, I'm not going to know how you're going to treat my child when no one is present. That's one. Not saying that you would do anything, but I'm not putting anything past anyone That's one. And two, I'm not going to know how you're going to talk about me and to my child or in the presence of my child. That's just common sense. But clearly it's not common because they are making it seem like Ari is wicked for keeping her child in the van while y'all just disrespected and said, I don't want to see your face. And you're thinking I'm going to hand over my child. Girl, he's sleeping and it's cold. And y'all be all right. Have your moment with your brother. The end. You speak about that their relationship would have been short if there wasn't a child involved. We all know that. We all agree with that. We know that. Ari knows that. Binyam knows that. It would have definitely been short-lived had it not been for that child. But regardless of, it doesn't matter at this point because he's moving to America. And it's sad because he has such a strong relationship with his siblings due to the fact that they are orphans. They lost both of their parents very young. So they only had each other. So I get the protection of your brother because you know that your brother is unhappy. But your brother needs to speak up for himself. If he won't speak up for himself, that does not give you the right to throw wine in the mother of his child's face. Come on. So yeah, like that's just my thoughts on everything. I want to hear what you guys think. You know, what are your thoughts on, you know, the relationship of Avi, the son, you know, and the sisters? Do you think that that can cause friction in the future? I don't think that Ari, I keep getting the names confused. I don't think that Ari is going to keep her child away from the sisters, right? No, but I don't think she's going to go out of her way either. She's not going to go out of her way. And her not going out of her way was clearly shown when she sat in that van and was like, wait, it's cold as crap outside. And my child is tired. Yeah, we're not going out. We're not putting this child up in the cold for these rude girls who literally just said out of their mouth in front of me that they don't want to see my face and refuses to apologize. You feel good about what you did, girl. Bye. But yes, I want to hear everyone's thoughts. Once again, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Come back for more. Okay, bye.